Hey there, Gail. How are you today?
Hey, Kevin, it's good to see you.
Happy Monday.
Yes, amen to that.
I don't know if it's me or this is. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can.
Oh,
Yes,
that's better. That's better. I couldn't hear you, but
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. My headphones weren't plugged in all the way. That's why I couldn't hear you.
All right. Is this I'm turning my mic up. Is the audio too loud or is it
Nope,
just
you're good. You're good.
okay?
How's the
Okay.
great city of Las Vegas today?
It is sunny. I went for a walk with my friend and my dog went on a hike. All is good.
Well,
Yes.
that sounds spectacular.
And are you in Toronto?
No, so I live in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, which is the city right across the river from Detroit.
Okay.
Right across the river from Detroit. And I'm feeling thankful because last Monday I got my first COVID shot. So I feel great.
Good, very good. And it's cold there, isn't it?
Oh, for this time of year, we're about 40, we're in the 40s.
Good.
Last week we were in the 70s. The good thing about living in Windsor is it's the southernmost province in Ontario, so we get all four seasons all the time.
Oh, good. Okay, very cool.
But the thing is with Canada, so the Canadian government, they want to make sure that everybody gets their first, as many people get their first dose as possible first.
Hmm.
So I have to wait 4 months until my next shot. So I'm not scheduled for my next one until July.
And do you have to get two or three?
So two, yeah, I got
Okay.
the Pfizer vaccine, so I'll get one more in July.
Okay.
So.
Good. Good.
Uh,
I'm glad we could get on a little early and check each other out. And I appreciate you reaching out to me. I'm glad that something in my bio tripped your trigger and made you curious about reaching out. So I'm very appreciative of that, Kevin.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm wearing a shirt called for the Discoverability Network, which was a project that I worked on. I was the regional ambassador for the project here in Windsor, and what it was a website for people with disabilities and employers to get connected. When I worked on the project, I called it the eHarmony for employment. But the only difference is if you were a job seeker with a disability, you were matched with an employer who's looking to hire people specifically with disabilities. And obviously, if you're an employer, it works the opposite way. During my time on the network, I was able to get at least 70 people jobs, either a job or an internship. And we connected the network with 15 new employers while I was there, and I held the role for 11 months.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
So yeah, you and I have a similar synergy in terms of wanting to get people employed. So when I read your bio, I was excited to reach out to you. So I appreciate your accepting my invitation.
Absolutely, Kevin. Yes, I agree. We are on the same page with that for sure.
So you had a good weekend then?
I did. I have a good weekend. It kind of flew by. I was in Florida, which is
Oh,
why
okay.
this was delayed. And we went down to Fort Myers Beach and then we went to the Keys and my kids swam with the dolphins.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right? They got to ride on the dorsal fins of two dolphins and get pulled around a lagoon. And then another thing that happened, Kevin, is they had t-shirts that they were leaning out over the dock on a board, and the dolphin would put a paintbrush in its mouth and kind of swim up and paint on the t-shirt for the kids.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was very fun to see. Absolutely. And then we went fishing for snapper, and then we brought our catch into a restaurant and they cooked it for us. They made blackened snapper tacos or whatever we wanted. So we've never done that before either. It was really fun.
Oh, very cool. Well, my weekend wasn't nearly as exciting. I love the state of Florida, and every time I get a chance to go down there, I do. But my weekend was spent. So I have three other siblings, and my youngest sister it moved to British Columbia this weekend. So it was an active weekend in my house.
Wow.
So she's into the travel and tourism field, so she wants to travel. Kyra's got more stamps on her passport than I'll ever have, but because of the pandemic, she couldn't travel internationally, so she's taken a contract as a guest services agent at a hotel out west. So she starts tomorrow. So she's excited about the career and life switch.
All your family works together when there's a move like that, huh?
Well, my parents spent 3.5 hours driving Kyra to the airport in Toronto yesterday. So, yeah, everyone works as one. So, yeah.
I think that's really fantastic. That close-knit family is awesome.
Yeah. My brother's in his third year of studying for his PhD in sports psychology at Wayne State. So, my parents raised some ambitious kids. So,
I would say so. I would say
yeah.
so. What about your other sibling?
So Keith is my identical twin brother, actually, and Keith and I were both born with cerebral palsy. And I'll give you a quick story. I was almost born in Detroit. My mother went into labor while my parents were in the tunnel, but thankfully they made it back to winter in time. So I'm a Canadian kid, and then my other sibling, my other sister lives in the Toronto metro area, and she's a social worker. She handles adoptions for new families.
Okay, so you and your brother both have CP?
So my brother grew out of his cerebral palsy. It still affects things like his handwriting, but he grew out of his. Keith and I are a minute apart. I always tell him he got more smarts, but I got the better looks. So there you go. And we actually did. He asked me to help him out with a school project, and one of the prerequisites for the project was creating 2 podcasts. So we used the platform I created to help him with his homework. So there you go.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I love hearing about your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure living in Vegas, there's never a dull moment for you, huh?
I have been here for 5 years. I'm a Midwest girl at heart.
Oh, where are you originally from?
So I grew up in Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Okay, so not that far away from Michigan.
No, Michigan is actually my favorite state.
Oh, and why's that?
Because when I was like 5 years old to 15 years old, we would vacation at Elk Lake near Traverse City.
Okay, so you like up north then? Yeah.
I do. I love Michigan. And I actually lived in Duluth, Minnesota, and then Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then I moved to Madison, Wisconsin, and lived there for the last 21 years.
Oh, I'm about to call you a domestic globetrotter there, Gail. It's you've lived all over the place.
I have. This trip was definitely, it was my husband's job that moved us here, and I wanted to support him. He supported me when I quit my television career in Madison, and that's just kind of what we do. We work together and support each other.
Well, if we all worked that way, we would be living in a much better society, huh?
I agree. Yes, you're right, Kevin.
So, hey, just before we get started, did you have any other questions for me?
No, that's we can record if you want, and I love how you just get to it with the questions. I love asking questions myself, but I'm super impressed with your ability to be so poignant and get through the BS and just call it as it is. I think that's a super great talent that you have, and I'm glad you're using it.
Well, it helps to be pragmatic sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, Gail, if you're ready, I'll welcome you to the program, and I'm excited to talk to you today about career exploration. So great to see you, and thank you so very much for being here today. It's most appreciated.
It is so great to be here, Kevin. Thank you for asking me.
Fantastic. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck in continuing to change the lives of students and one educational system at a time. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I want to thank you for the great work that you do, for taking my questions this afternoon, and for sharing your expertise. It's most appreciated.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate the time.
Fantastic, Gail. We're done. That was so much fun.
Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Seriously.
Well, thank you so very much. And I want to thank you for your time this afternoon. It's most appreciated. Let's stay in touch, huh?
I would love that, Kevin. Thank you.
Have a great Las Vegas Monday, and
Okay. See you, buddy. Bye
keep
for
moving
now.
mountains. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to bed. I don't know. That was a long.